of people who are NRIs here, right? People who are outside India, and they're always having this doubt. Sharan, I'm living in Germany. Sharan, I'm living in UK, or I'm living in US. How do I need a life insurance? If I need it, do I get it from India or do I get it from my home country? Because sometimes I might be in India also, and how does it even cover? Does it have a global coverage or not? So how do you answer that?
Right. Sharon, this is an ongoing challenge which I have, and we practically try to solve it almost every other week because I've got a good 25% of my clientele are non-residents from different part of the world, right? So my first basic thing to them tends to be, where do you think you would be in your retirement days, or 5 years down the line, or 10 years down the line? And what I'm trying to assess for those NRIs is, and this is the question which they should ask themselves, your viewers as well, that where do they see their mid to long term future? If the answer is not India, then little does it make sense to take a term cover in India. Right? At one point of time, term covers in India were relatively very, very cheap. Compared to the foreign other overseas countries, they were cheap to an extent of 40-50%. But gradually, what you would have also noticed, but I've been noticing that gradually each year the premiums have been bumped up, and now the premium differential is not that great. The other day I was talking to a client based in Dubai. Now, this will perhaps give a good understanding, because this may be valid for Germany and other locations as well. The client tells me, Puneet, I want to buy a term cover of this much amount, right, in Dubai, and it's a reputed insurance company. Should I go ahead or not? Now, I quickly did the mathematics in India because I wanted to kind of tell him that, okay, this product exists in India. Should you take it in Dubai or not? And the costing in Dubai was cheaper than in India for a term cover. His long-term goal is not to live in India. Over there, he was getting an international cover because in Dubai, many of the expats live. So they have been kind of serviced on insurances through Switzerland and other locations. So it was a no-brainer. It was a no-brainer. I told him, just ensure that you have some connect with the insurance company, because where term cover is not about, is you won't be around to claim it. It will be your nominees and dependents who would be. They should be that savvy enough to know whom to call in an overseas country to claim that money.
Right. But technically, you're saying life insurance covers you wherever you die in the world. You'll get your family gets the money, right?
I'll give an Indian context. When you are taking a life insurance in India and you are an NRI, you have to disclose that you are an NRI. There are a lot of documents which are submitted to substantiate that. There's some cooling off as well because of COVID-related norms. The insurance company very well knows, and it is recorded, that the person is an NRI. Okay. They do not they won't issue a term cover if they have got no intention to pay to a non-resident. Okay. You've got foreign nationals. I'll also give you an example. Foreign nationals of Indian origin, OCI card holders, which many of the NRIs are. Very merrily, they get insurances in India, obviously, but they have to be physically in India, or they have to comply with certain things in their respective country. But Indian insurance companies provide global covers to these people. The same cover. I'm not talking about a differentiated cover. The same insurance cover, which is available for an Indian national living in India, can be provided to other one as well, provided the insurance company is happy to do it. Most of them are generally happy to do that, and then it should be valid. So if that is a constant, the next thing which a client needs to consider, and a person who's taking insurance needs to consider, is where do they see the long term? If it is not in India, it may be better to take it from their respective home country.
Right.
That's all what I'm trying to tell.
But if the differential is very high, then maybe India still makes sense to get it from. But
it may make sense.
Like maybe US, it's really expensive, right? I'm not sure about the term insurance cost in US.
We have not compared US. We have compared UK. We have compared Dubai. We have compared Singapore.
Yeah.
The differential is no longer that great.
Okay, got it. But is it a little bit like, let's say for me, for example, if you take a 27-year-old non-smoker and all of that, for a 1 crore term insurance, you can get for as little as 8,000, 9,000 rupees, right? You're saying that is possible there also? Singapore also, it's that cheap?
We have done all these computations for people at least for over mid-30s onwards. The premiums are competitive now. 3-4 years back, India was 20-30% cheaper. No longer.
Got it. So one Tejasri is asking, it is challenging to say confidently about retirement, whether it will be in India or UK, because future is not 100% sure.
Well, and this is exactly the challenge which we have, Sharan. So when we have a situation with a person who's not sure where he will retire, or they are in a jurisdiction where it is for sure they will not end up being in the long term. Example, many of the people living in Middle East. They will
Yeah.
never get full residency.
True.
Even for argument's sake, people living in Singapore these days they do not get permanent residence card. A few of our clients were telling they've been trying for several years. Singapore is